That was one of the big moments at Alex Jones' first defamation trial. Again, it was about damages. Lost the case, $49 million. New trial just underway today in Connecticut. So let me bring in my other guest. Joining me in Los Angeles, California, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert witness, and columnist of Inside the Criminal Mind, Dr. Carole Lieberman. Dr. Carole Lieberman, do you think he was putting on a show there? Or what was going on?
No, I think he was, deflated by what happened in the courtroom. Like, he couldn't believe, he has somewhat of a sense that he is beyond the law and that what he is doing is right. And when he got punished, in a sense, obviously, with the verdict, it threw him off his game. I think the way that he reacted was it was a psychological defense. It was by exaggerating the other way, oh yes, I'm guilty, I killed the kids. I know this is a civil case, but so he can't be not guilty by reason of insanity, but there is reason to question, some of his, how much in touch with reality he is.
Dr. Carole Lieberman, the other part of this case is the pain, right? The pain of losing a child. Do you think the jury can distinguish between the suffering of these parents at the hands of the killer versus the suffering of the parents at the hands of Alex Jones?
Yes, that's a good question. If it were a simple wrongful death case, where, let's say, they'd be suing Adam Lanza, the shooter, if he hadn't committed suicide, you would measure their degree of loss of companionship, loss of earnings of the child. There are certain aspects, certain specific things that you measure how much they have lost by that. But this is sort of a mixture of things. Alex Jones, what Alex Jones did was blame the parents, basically, by saying that they were actors. He's saying, in a sense, that they killed their children, that they are pretending, or that they didn't love their children because they're making this whole thing up. Really, that's what psychiatric expert witnesses are for. In the interviews, that's what I do in interviews of the parents, of the people, the plaintiffs, where you try to parcel out these things, which is which. It's not easy, and really, in the end, the opening statement today was really good, and the attorney was telling the jury to decide the verdict on the basis of your experiences and standing up to bullies and so on. And so a lot of that is just going to be, and they're in their home state. They felt it themselves when this tragedy happened. So a lot of it is going to be emotional and not as clearly, X amount of money for X amount of suffering.
We are out of time this hour, but a big thank you. Ben Chu, great to see you. Dr. Carole Lieberman, always a pleasure. Dr. Robbie Love.